What's going on, guys? It's Johnny, aka Tropical Fish Guy. Today I'm going to give you a little update on the shrimp tank and talk a little bit about what I've been doing to improve the baby survivability rate, if you will, of these shrimp. So the shrimp hadn't been doing so hot for me, probably because I hadn't really paid that much attention to it, just feed them and do water changes every now and then. But I've noticed that my colony's been dying off, and I needed to show some attention to them more than I would with the fish that I have to do water changes on, but keep on forgetting or don't have time or whatever excuse, right? But shrimp are a little bit more sensitive, I figured out, as well as I'll tell you a couple other tricks that I do. And in the meantime, I'll talk about what I need to do to prepare it for maintenance. Today is maintenance day, so we're going to do a little bit of water change on there, maybe 25-30%. Sounds about right. I'll show you what I do, and I've done a different how to change your water in fish tank video. I'll link that, but I'll go through the highlights here of what I do, what kind of products. And I was thinking to myself too, I sure do have a lot of stuff that I use, for these shrimp. So I thought I'd share that stuff that I use with you guys. Hopefully it'll make a difference in you guys' tank. So let's get to it. All right, so here's the little 5-gallon shrimp tank. It's nice to actually look into the tank and actually be able to pick out shrimp in the tank. Here, probably before, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've been having problems not being able to keep the population up. And there's a nice one up there. Let's see if I can see them now. So lately what I've been doing is I've been adding a couple of items to the routine. Mostly the key is to feed the baby shrimp, okay? So, I usually just, crush some flakes in there for food for the shrimp. And, I crush it up pretty good for the babies. But what I've been doing is I've been adding this baby fish food, baby shrimp food, into the tank, and just little tiny bits per day. I mean, like, I use this, and I also use this Bacter AE. I've been adding that, but just a tiny bit a day. I mean, on this, I've heard a lot from more advanced shrimp keepers. Don't use the whole thing. Don't use the recommended scoop, just a little bitty. And I already did this today, but I'll show you what I do. There we go. So what I do for this 5-gallon tank, and it has probably 15 or 20 good sized shrimp and a lot of babies there. See, a few weeks ago I wouldn't even be able to see those babies back there. And then there's shrimp hanging out here, shrimp back there, on there. And I added this Java moss tied to the sponge filter because my previous Java moss, it's not doing so good, but I think it's coming back. But I'm doing an experiment to see if Java moss, I think that Java moss likes to be attached to something to feel secure to grow, but I'm not sure. We'll do that experiment and I'll give you an update later on that. But this pearlweed here, a couple of different batches that I've had, I used. So I actually grow this above ground, this pearlweed. So there's one handful there, there's another little handful there. And you can grow, this plant is so versatile. You can grow this on land, underwater, or as floating. And I'll show you a couple examples here. So here, like I showed you, I'm growing them in the aquarium, underwater, but I threw a couple of pieces of gravel on top to let it sink, but it will eventually attach to the gravel and look like that. I mean, that's pretty nice, huh? 2 big chunks separated by that little log there. But I'll show you what I do over here. And I usually have these lights on, but I wanted to leave them off so you can see. So I'm growing this, and this will be part of the, I'll show you more about this stuff in the growing plants experiment, but I got this from, sneak peek here, I got this from growing it just in regular old dirt, and I'll show you that other stuff later. But this took up like half the tub, so I pulled out handfuls of chunks And I'm using it here as a floating plant here. Look how nice that looks. Yeah. Like that. Okay, yep. Floating plant there. Floating plant here, and this one, I need to get a light for it, but it's floating right there. And where else? And I'll show you it floating in the fish room here in a second. But that's where I get the pearl weed. Such a great plant and grows really fast in dirt, but you do have to have shine a good light on it, like this one is here. Anyways, back to the shrimp tank. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a water change on this. Well, actually, I was showing you the amounts, weren't I? Okay, so the amounts would be something like for this 5-gallon tank with 15 or 20 shrimp, probably like this amount. I mean, just a tiny bit. Maybe I'm not doing it enough, but I'd rather be safe than do too much at first. And the same amount of this shrimp food, as well as a really good thing that I'm doing is adding white mineral powder to add to the minerals. Shrimp need some minerals to grow. So I'll put all this stuff in the links in the description so you can easily get to it. But I'm going to do a water change on this one. Got my bucket, my siphon, and I would recommend, I've done, like I said, I've done water change videos before, but I'd recommend if you have a small tank like this to use the siphon, and it's easy with the bulb. You just squeeze the bulb. You don't have to start sometimes for people it's hard to start a siphon and no one wants to suck on that end. So anyway, I'll put a link up here to the video I did on how to change your water using this siphon. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a water change on this. So that's the before, and I'm going to scrape down the front of the glass. I'm going to leave that back. With a little bit of algae, because I see some shrimp sometimes crawling on it on the back there, so I'm going to leave that back, but I'm going to scrape the front. So here it is before, and we'll show you here in a second after. Alright, so there you have it, guys. This is the after. Things have kind of settled down. You can see all the shrimp having a good time there in the water change. They seem to swim around more. The plants seem to be giving off more oxygen bubbles like that right there. Maybe it's just trapped in there, I don't know, but they do that quite frequently, especially this pearlweed. It's a really good plant. I love that. You'll see that these shrimp, these are Orange Sakura shrimp, and I'll leave a link where I got those, or just go to tropicalfishguide.com/shrimp and give you the link out there to the shrimp farm. And you can see little babies. See the babies right there? Baby there. There's a younger one there, Otto there. There's a nice looking one. They're just starting to become more abundant. I guess paying attention to them and giving them some love, you know, does wonders. Also feeding the babies. There's the blue one, really nice looking guy there. Yeah, got him the other day, just one, because that was the only one there. And I was like, he looks lonely in that tank by himself. There's some babies. See that baby on log right there, right in the middle? Yep, right there. Alright. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's the shrimp tank update, showing you what the new things I'm doing to increase the population of the shrimp. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Leave a comment. Hit that subscribe button. And hit that bell notification to get all of my future videos. Definitely check out the newsletter where you get special tips and tricks at tropicalfishguide.com/signup. And check me out on Instagram at @thetropicalfishguy. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys, and happy fish keeping. Peace out.